Doing pretty good, Ken. How you doing? Practice was awesome. It was actually my first time going full speed. Little lingering injuries, and it was awesome. We're out here in the rain. Full speed practice, seventh practice of the spring. There's a big learning curve, but I think everybody's kind of moving along in the right direction, and we just got to sit together as a team and work on our assignments, work on our fundamentals, and really just work on our teamwork and becoming the best brotherhood we can be.
Absolutely. How is it for you? You're out there on a rainy day. We always hear in the Army it's not training if it's not raining, so you got a chance to do it. How was that today in the rain?
Coach Munkin always reminds us you never know what the weather's going to be like, and the offense we run, triple option, rain can affect that. So it's always great to practice in the rain, work with wet balls, work with maybe the ground's a little bit wet. Your footwork is going to change a little bit maybe, and it's always great to be out there. And then that saying's right. I've heard that one too many times. If it's not raining, it's not training. So,
yeah, tell us a little bit about your season last year. You got 119 yards rushing in the fullback spot. You got a touchdown versus Mercer. What were some of the highlights for you?
The highlights really just I didn't get to play in the Air Force game because I tested positive for COVID. But playing in that Navy game was an amazing experience. Getting to beat them at home, getting the shutout. It's just a great competition, and every year it's a really good game. That was a big highlight, and just every game with a brotherhood. I mean, especially with the B-back group. Anthony, Jakobi, Sandin last year. Tyson got in a lot. Just being able to work together and accomplish a goal. Our set goal and win 9 games was an absolute blessing, and we just want to rebuild, and we look forward to making that brotherhood within our position group going into next season.
Yeah.
Hey, can you talk about getting your chance to play last year, especially with such a thick, talented roster there at B-back?
It's fierce competition. Every day in practice, every day in the games. And some of us are better at some things, and it's always we always see it as a feedback by committee, and it really is because there's not one person. I don't think Marshawn Lynch can play this back by himself. It's it's a very tiring and exhausting position, and so it works best when we have 4 or 5 guys coming into the game, and we complement each other. There's some things that Jakobi does really well, and there's some things that Ant does really well. And we all learn from each other. And I think that's the beauty of what we've got going. And we just have to keep that going into the spring and then the summer and this next fall. It's just that competition, learning from each other's, some things that we may do wrong, some things we do right.
Does that put more or less pressure on you guys individually?
I think it puts more pressure on us. I mean, that's the goal. We want to put the most pressure on each other as possible because, if somebody just becomes the ultimate back, then maybe we're not seeing as much time. But it's not about playing time. It's about, helping each other every day in practice, helping each other in the game so we can get the win. Because at the end of the day, I don't think a single one of us cares about carries. I don't think we care about, snaps played. It's all about, being together as that B-back brotherhood and winning the game.
As you just said, each back brings their own unique abilities. What do you think you bring to the position? And what is it that you're working on here in the off season?
Honestly, I'm probably one of the least physically talented backs. I mean, I'm one of the lightest, but I just like to think that I have a mentality that I'm a fierce competitor, and I'm always want to win. That's what I want to bring. I went in a lot for blocking plays last year, but this spring I'm really going to work on just keeping my pads low. Always being able to stay lower than the defenders on blocks. And then, of course, running the ball as well, just, learning the fits of the offense and not just learning what I have to do, but learning what every single person on the offense is doing on each play. That way I understand the full concept and, just the plays will come slower to me at that point.
Are you criticizing your own running? Because I thought you were rather effective, quite often.
I mean, you can always get better. There's things I got to do that I got to work on as a runner that I can get better. And there's things I need to work on as a blocker to get better. I think that we all have – I mean, that's the thing about football. It's a progressive sport. If you don't keep practicing it, you'll lose those skills. So, you just got to get better every day. And I think we push ourselves as a group, and as a team every day to do that.
Last thing, obviously you didn't get to play against Air Force, so that must have been crushing. But to get the opportunity to play Navy, that had to be very satisfying.
Yes, sir. You know, it was my first time actually playing against Navy, you know, it wasn't in Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, but you know, it was really historic playing it at home. It's a surreal feeling, and to get the win obviously was amazing.
Cade, tell us a little bit about, obviously at fullback you take a lot of hits. How important is the offseason conditioning for you and strength building?
It's extremely important. You know, it's extremely important for all of us. And like you said, we take a lot of hits, so that goes right back into doing it by committee, because not every B-back can take every single hit.
Sure, absolutely. And how is it this year working with you got a very deep roster of quarterbacks. How is it working with different quarterbacks in different situations in practice?
You know, the quarterbacks, they bring their own skill set. You know, each quarterback is you know, they're progressing, they're doing well. You know, and as B-backs, we try to work with each different quarterback. That way we can get the rhythm, get the meshes right, and you know, do well this next season, no matter who's in the huddle.
And being a junior at West Point, how are you getting?
Question.
Sure. As a junior at West Point, approaching your senior year, how do you feel about moving up the ranks at the academy, and what are you studying academically?
So I'm an English major, and you know, it moves a lot faster than you think. But you know, it moves a lot faster, and if you don't think about the memories, and if you don't really love everything you're doing, then you know, what's the point of being here? You know, but.
Hey, great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.